However, how wide is your space? That's according to
Your rod.
the rod. So I'm using gray rod, so my base will be the size of the diameter of the rod. No bigger. And no smaller or they'll crowd up. On hair this short, you will use a bookend. And our first rod is rolled down. Your rubber portion of the rod goes at the top. Next thing, we split the hair in the middle, and we do from side to side. I don't stand here and part because if I do, it's going to go on a diagonal. That's not proper. This head is round, so I need to make a round section. So I need to stand in front of where I'm wrapping, section my hair so that it goes, so it follows the curvature of the head. If you stand in front of where you are and part straight across, it will follow the curvature of the head. If you stand straight in the back, all your rods are eventually going to go vertical and you will have wrapped it wrong. Don't be, make sure that your rods will fit, or I think I can put a long one in here, right here. Your black mannequin has a larger head to make it a lot easier. You don't want your rods to go into the space of another rod, okay? And now I'm going to stand over here and part my hair. And I'm going to show you after I wrap this, the parting. And it parts according to where you should have a part that goes all the way around, okay? That part should match. Pick up your paper, wet your fingers to pick up the papers with the wet hair, not with your tongue. Never put anything in your mouth when you're doing somebody's hair.
That's unsanitary.
Very. So those rods will sit there like that. Okay. I'm not particularly fond of the way it's wrapped here. The section's a little long and doesn't fit correctly because you can see this end is lifting up right over here, and that's improper placement of a rod. Your rod should sit flat on the head. Okay, so therefore my section will be smaller and shorter, so I'm going to go shorter to fit a short rod that will fit directly right onto the base and flatter on the head. It's always good to wet your section. Thank you. If you drop those, if you were doing a real person, you wouldn't pick those up, but since we're doing, and now you can see that sits better on the head. It's not pulling from the side. The same thing over here. I'm going to stand in front of where I'm going to part and make sure that the same part goes all the way around. And this will fit a short rod right here.
It's better to have the paper over the hair, like.
You have to.
No, I know over the hair, but.
Yes, you have
above
to.
The hair.
You have to, otherwise your hair is going to stick out. Okay? Now I'm going to come back to the middle, and I'm going to do 3 short ones, because I know 3 long ones aren't going to fit according to the size of the head. And I can already visualize that in my head. And if you can't visualize it in your head, then visualize it by picking up a rod and going around the head. And your rod should sit this way coming down, this way coming down, and this way coming down. It shouldn't be this way or this way. It's not diagonal on the side of the head like that. It has to sit horizontal to the floor. Pick up my piece of hair. It's always good to wet so that it stays on the rod better. Stepping to the side where I have to pick up the hair, finding the part where I already parted, standing in front of where I'm rolling, so that I'm rolling horizontal to the floor. If you're going to sit right behind it and continue rolling, I'll repeat myself, it will not come out properly. So when I see you rolling on the sides and you're sitting behind it, I'm going to tell you, that's not proper placement. Proper placement of your rollers and your rods are very important. This is also an exercise in how to part hair, how to design styles, to section hair. If you become good at this, you're going to become good at just about anything. If you find yourself falling short of any hair on the sides, just take a little bit from your front part. And this should fit, and I'm standing here in front of my rod so that I will be rolling horizontal to the floor. We lost it. The war. We lost it in the battle. And we have our second row. Now the third row gets split in half. And we can see again that two long ones are not going to fit here, but two short ones will. You can see that. You can tell and judge just by, and if you can't judge by your eye, judge by your rod. Okay, so we're going to split this one right here. This hair is harder to part because of the fact that it was relaxed and it sits flatter on the head. So it's harder to pick it up actually. Okay, this rodding is used for people with fine hair. It also is used a lot in reformation curls. Now, are black women the only ones who will benefit from a reformation curl?
No.
Absolutely not. Anybody with overly curly hair and wants their curl loosened will benefit from a reformation curl. Reformation curls are a lot more modern today than they used to be. If somebody, a black woman or somebody from the Mideast or has very curly hair and wants to redefine their curl but still keep it, we would give them a reformation curl. The reformation curl consists of straightening the hair with a thio first and using, which is more liquidy, thicker than you would use a thio when you put it on a permanent wave. You remember you use an acid though. You would use an alkaline. Thiammonium glycolate is alkaline and used for most perms. It is a product used for reformation curls in two forms. One is thicker to straighten the hair first, and the second product is after you roll it, and after you roll the rod, you roll with the solution, and the reformation curl is put in a plastic bag and put on the hair until the curl reforms itself. So if you have a very, very tight curl, you're going to use a larger rod. So if I could use a purple rod, I could use a white rod, and depending upon the size of the curl the person wants, okay? So if Darlene had very curly hair over here, let's take Charmaine for example. Charmaine has natural hair, and it's very, very curly, but she still wanted curly hair, but she wanted a little looser. I'm not going to relax it or texturize it because those are procedures that are not stable. In other words, they don't come out the exact same every single time you do it, but doing a reformation curl on her hair would be the same every time you do it, and according to the size of the rod you use. So if I were to take her hair, straighten it first with the thio solution, the first solution on a reformation, and then I were to rinse that out very carefully, and no washing, just rinse it out because you wash the hair first, and then rinse it out, and then I'm going to wrap her hair. I would use this type of wrap because the person who is leaving with the reformation curl normally leaves with their hair in those curls. They don't style it or blow dry it or anything, and therefore if you wrap it in this type of wrap, she won't have all those lines you get from doing the